then today I use the Kat Von D Monarch palette. I did want to do a couple of tutorials showing different looks you could create using this palette. But looking back, I realized that I went a little bit crazy and used a lot of this brown orange tone over here. I love this color, so I incorporated it in this look again today, showing that it can be worn more softly and in a more daytime appropriate way and not so bam intense in your face. So that's what I've got going on today. If you want to see how I did this, then please keep on watching. So I have already moisturized my whole face, and for that I used the Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty. You can use this all over your body, but I purchased the smaller size because I was just going to be using it on my face. And then for primer today, I'm using something new. I am using the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Smoother Base Visage. And it is just kind of like one of those balm kind of primers. It reminds me of, what is it, Mally has one. But really this just is going to fill your pores and kind of smooth everything out. It's not going to make your pores vanish 100%, but it really does help in smoothing everything out. So then for foundation, I'm going to be using my CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous foundation. My shade is 810 Classic Ivory. Yeah, Classic Ivory. Just going to give it a shake and pump it. And if you're seeing this, I sliced my finger open and have 5 stitches in my finger right now. So I've been trying to use my left hand as much as possible, but there are just some things you have to use your dominant hand for, and this would be one of them. Quite difficult. And I'm using my Real Techniques buffing brush to apply this. So then for concealer, first I'm going to go in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer under my eyes and highlight, you know, my face like half a pump. I just need half a pump. Alright. Highlight my face like normal, and first I'm just going to apply that with my fingers. You've all seen this a million times, so from here on out I'm going to skip this part. And I'm going to use my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge to buff all of that out, and I'll be right back. So I did pretty much go ahead and finish the rest of my face. To set under my eyes and anywhere I put the Pro Longwear Concealer, I use the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. This just kind of helps to brighten any area of the face that you put it on. So I think setting my concealer with it just helps to brighten those areas of the face and highlight them a little bit more. And it just looks very natural, or as natural as you can get with a full face of makeup. Then to set the rest of my face, I used my Coty Airspun Loose Powder. You can get this at Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, pretty much any drugstore type place. I went ahead and contoured my face too because I do have a full video on how I contour and highlight my face. But I did use my Hoola bronzer from Benefit, which is getting on its last legs here. You can see that I've used a lot of it. Then to do my brows, which I also have a full video on, I used my Urban Decay Brow Box. And I used both the lighter and the darker color. The darker color just through the tail end of my brows, and the lighter color through the rest of my brows. And then to set all of that, I used my Salon Perfect Clear Brow Sculpting Gel. So then for blush, I did go ahead and apply a little bit of the Rockateur blush. I use this very lightly just to kind of help contour my face a little bit more. And I think it kind of gives a little bit of natural color to the cheeks. So you could just do that. But I'm going to go in with this corally color out of my BH Cosmetics Glamorous Blush palette, and I'm going to apply that to the apples of my cheeks and kind of sweep it backwards just to add a little bit more color to the cheeks. Nothing crazy. So after I applied my blush and all that jazz, I did apply my Mary Luminizer from the Balm as my highlight, and I did go ahead and prime my lids with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. But today, again, I'm going to be using the new Kat Von D Monarch palette because the first look that I did with this, I realized probably not everybody would go for this orangey brown tone all over the lid. So I realized that that probably was not the most wearable look you could get out of this. However, I really loved that look. I just kind of felt like not everybody could wear something like that or would wear something like that. So I'm going to attempt to do a more wearable look, like daytime appropriate wearable look with the palette today. So, since I don't know what I'm doing, we're just gonna wing it. So first, on this fluffy brush here, I'm gonna go in with this matte brown shade called Killing Jar, and I'm going to apply that into my crease. I'm not being super careful with this either. It's just going to act as a blending shade later. And I'm going to bring it down on the corner of the lid a bit as well. Then I'm going to go in with this kind of peachy shade here called Vanish. I believe it's just like a light peachy shade. And just kind of a stiff flat brush. And I'm going to pat that all over the lid. I'm going to also place that in the inner corner as well. This is quite a shimmery shade. I'm going on the lower lash line a little bit with it as well. Then I do want to incorporate this orangey brown tone in this look again and show you that it can be worn kind of in a soft way instead of so intense like I did it in the first look, just all over the lid. So I'm going to take my Real Techniques base shadow brush and just lightly dip it in there, really making sure I'm tapping off any excess, which is kind of hard to do when you can't use your index finger. Anyway, but I'm just going to take the brush like this and just focus that color in the crease at first. And just slowly blend that out. This will just really kind of help to warm the look up a little bit more, even though these are completely warm colors. This will just warm it up even more. And then I'm going all the way in with this, and I'm just slowly blending out the color, and I'm going to go back in with my fluffy brush and really just make it soft. And you can see how that just slightly deepens up the crease that little bit, but without being like super overpowering. This color actually reminds me of a color from MAC. I'm not sure of the name, but I know they have a brown that is this tone as well. So, and then you can just keep building that up to the intensity that you want it to be. Or you can keep it as soft or as light as you want it to be. It's just whatever you are comfortable with for daytime, and I'm pretty much comfortable with anything for any time. Then, again, just on my base shadow brush, I'm going to take that same Deadhead color and run that on the lower lash line. You can use a smaller brush for this. I just like that smoky lash line effect a lot lately, so just on the lower lash line, I am blending it all the way across to wherever you stopped with your highlight color. And I'm just really making sure that the lines meet on the outer edge by just really buffing and blending that in. Again, you can go as light or as intense with this as you want to. It just, again, depends on your comfort level. And you just really want to make sure everything's blended and soft. That will help really make this kind of a color appropriate for daytime, just making sure that it's super soft and super blended. What is my hair? So now I am going into this shade called Tiny Death, which is kind of a buttery yellow, and it is probably my favorite shade in this palette based on its name alone. And I'm going to apply that as my highlight kind of and just soften any edges. I mean, everything should be really soft because we've blended the heck out of it at this point. But just to soften up a little bit more. And I'm also going to pop that right here as well and kind of blend it up. Just to really kind of highlight. Then I am going to go in to, not this brush, I guess, oh, no. What did I do with it? Well, I guess I'm using this one. I'm going to go into this shade here called Etymology, which is a little bit lighter, and it has some glitter in it, and I'm just going to pop that right here. Just right under the brow. Just to add a little bit more of a highlight. Now I'm going to dip into this matte brown shade here called Papillo. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably pronouncing it completely wrong. But I'm going to use my MAC 263 angle brush and push that into the roots of my lashes. I don't want to use black because, again, trying to keep this daytime appropriate. So just really close to the top lashes. And I'm not going to flick this out or anything because I like the way this looks as is. But I just want a little bit of definition on the lashes. So I'm just following my natural lash line, not creating a flick, nothing, like I said. So then just to kind of say, I know not everybody likes this kind of heroin chic, irritated eye look, but I like the way this looks. That's why I pretty much have decided just to stop where I'm at and just give it a rest. But if you wanted to, you could go in with this one here called Shadow Box, or you could even go back in with Killing Jar, or this one called Summerfly, or this matte brown called Papillo, and just blend that over top of the orange a little bit, or just more in the crease, and that will kind of help to separate that orange color from the eye. You could do the same on the lower lash line as well, and again, that'll just help to separate that from the lower lash line, but I like the way this looks, like I said. So I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes pencil in 23L and put that on my waterline. So as you can see, just by adding some mascara, that also helps to separate the color from the eye and make it look a little bit less irritated. But like I said, I like the irritated eye look. But anyway, I use the Maybelline Mega Plush Volume Express Mascara. I feel like they've changed the formula on this, and it kind of makes me unhappy with Maybelline right now. But lips, it's really up to you, whatever you want to do. I just threw on my YSL Voluptuous Candy lipstick in number 1. It's just a brownie nude color with like really finely milled gold glitter in it. I love it. So yeah, that finishes this Kat Von D Monarch palette daytime wearable look. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.